Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Smart Poker YouTube channel and another episode of Humpdazed. This is number 103, and this is the very first show that I can ever remember there not being a comment in chat. Boom. It was a Nova first.
A Nova's first. Small tubes. How are you guys doing? I'm Crispy Wannabe. I'm so happy to be here on a Wednesday night, toking down with my friends.
Hell yeah. We're about to roll up some Ghost Train. We're still working on a jar, and we'll get the link up there. Maybe everyone's busy tonight, huh? All right. An invite.
Yeah, Small will post a link up and we'll get this party started. Okay, Jason in the house. How you doing tonight? All right, Smart posted a link. He's going to pin it. And if you want to come on and share your gardens or just hang out and smoke, feel free to do so.
Oh, there's a little E-Bud. Yeah, okay, Jason, Nova, Small Tubes. One of these days, we'll get those guys to jump on with us, too, huh? We got the zeros.
Yeah.
We did get to make ourselves a finish our batch of RSO. I think some of you, Roger is the one that reminded me because he liked it. That was the first time we ever made it, as you guys know, and I'm pretty much a professional now. I'll probably start a RSO channel, and no, seriously, it's pretty good though. We tested it out. It was worth the effort, worth the product we put into it, right? I think so.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of it back.
I think so too. I think that, getting the right dose is probably important for us to. I took a microdose today. It went well. I must say though, I did take a little too much of that RSO yesterday. It got me to an uncomfortable place. Yeah. So, but you know what? I'm glad I got that out of the way. Now I know, like, that is a place where I can't.
A pea-sized amount.
It was just like a little pea-sized amount. It maybe like
no kidding.
Of rice.
Wow.
Yeah,
Strong.
I tried to
strong.
Good job.
I tried to match the dose, which I thought I did a good job.
Yeah.
And I was really nice and high, but I never once felt uncomfortable. But, different people process shit differently. I know my wife and I have about the same smokable tolerance. We smoke pretty much every joint.
Yeah, I can keep up with Smart pretty good. But the edibles, maybe I just went a little overboard. But we didn't weigh it out or anything. It was just basically by eye. And it was just to clean up the syringe had like a lot of it stuck to the top. We didn't want to like store it like that with it all gunked up. So we wiped it off and it didn't seem like much at all. Like Smart said, maybe a pea size.
I learned.
But, yeah.
What's up? There's OK Jason in the house.
Hey, Jason.
How's it going, guys?
What's up, buddy?
How's it going?
Doing good. Ooh, look at them. Sorry, guys, my face is too close, but I got to look at the look at the screen. Didn't mean to scare y'all.
The one thing I did learn and I wanted to mention was it was Seed Person 1 messaged me and said you don't want to use plastic syringes. And you know what? We had that plastic syringe as part of an old batch we bought for a couple bucks on Amazon
for nutrients.
We were going to do, each bottle had its own. But they're not deep enough to get into the bottoms of the bottle. So we immediately abandoned those and we had a bunch left over. And yeah.
But yeah, Steve Person said because, the compounds, the volatility of it would maybe break down that plastic. And
if there's any alcohol left, pure grain in there.
That, so that was some good advice. And we're going to be getting some glass.
Cheers, Hoss, Brian, 420. Little E-Bud, Art Man's in there, and yeah, you'll probably fall asleep. She said she had like her heart was beating fast and all that, the whole deal. But it wasn't that long. I think
for about 45 minutes. I kind of like it brought back like bad memories of like the first time we ever made edibles. I thought this isn't going to do anything to me. So I ate a whole bunch and it ended up wrecking me. I had like a whole new respect for cannabis. I didn't think it could make you hallucinate for one thing, but if you take enough, it's highly uncomfortable. I didn't enjoy it at all. And it just brought back that speeded heartbeat was like the very first of my symptoms.
Dude, it was in a shot glass and she pounded it.
And oh man, that was a bad idea. And I started then getting that panicky feeling, but Smod helped me out, and I was only uncomfortable for a short amount of time. And then I had great sleep last night, and I woke up feeling super great, well rested. So I'm excited about that. Medicine is very powerful, more powerful than I thought it would turn out.
I wanted to comment on Haas Farms because that's a great question. That's exactly what I should have finished my thought there. I get all highed up.
Yeah.
Seed person sent me a link to glass ones, and they're the kinds you get from like a dispensary. They have a cap on them, There's J5. Cheers, buddy. Let me get you a wrench. Yeah. And so the glass ones with the cap seem really, really good. You could throw them in your pocket. Mine's down there sitting upside down at the end of the slow cooker in the handle because it just fits perfect. It holds it upside down. Nothing drips out. It all runs to the back of the syringe. And it was a lot of fun. Good medicine. We appreciate all of our friends here for helping us along from the beginning to the very end. Spartan, Seed Person, Art, man, you did yours first. We kind of watched you, so there's a lot of love to go around. Brian 420s has been very helpful in all this, and I can't say enough about chat.
We don't want to leave anybody out because you all have helped us through that journey.
Yeah, man.
Wow, what great medicine.
We did get a lot of information from different people, and it was all correct pretty much. But here's one thing I want to say before I forget. I'm sorry, babe. That distiller that Ice and I had, I have questions about that thing, man, and how it works. Because I like this medicine enough that I will now, since we did it the hard way the first time and reduced it, I'll go get me a distiller. And
if we can't,
But I'm wondering, like, all right, so here's exactly what I'm picturing, gang. You take your alcohol, you put it in your jar, and you put it in your jar, you soak it all down, strain your material off, put all your alcohol inside that machine. Now, what's in the bottom of that where the water is? Because when where the alcohol is, because when you distill all your alcohol back off, that shit's going to be a real nasty mess in the bottom, sticky, like the worst molasses, you guys know. And I'm just
we watched guys and I go through that and do that.
Do you remember?
No, but we'll have to talk to him, go back into those episodes and rewatch those.
Cheers, Sheldon, Claude, J. Patrick, Decoy Bacon. You guys are all welcome to come on and smoke one with us, man. You don't have to turn your camera on. You can just hang out. We hear your voice if you want to. I know sometimes. Some people feel like, well, I don't want to turn my camera on. We don't give a shit. We just hang out and smoke. As a matter of fact, I'm rolling up. Maybe we're rolling up.
Hey, you know what? We do want to do a disclaimer about that RSO that we made. That really packs a punch. I think it has a lot to do with all the strains that we have in it. Smart and I were counting it up, and we think we have come up with like
over 12.
11 plus. I'm comfortable with that. Say it. 11 plus.
And I know there was some more in there, but we can't be 100% sure. I'm pretty certain. But either way, it could be. There was, we named like 20 of them.
Fuller spectrum style.
We named like 20. We still have 3 different ones that we were going to use for that sort of either butter or whatever. And some of the other ones went to sift. So when we did the math, it's got to be down to that. And I remember putting them in too. We had everything bagged separately, and it was just a little bit from this one, a little bit from that one. And I think my wife's right. That was a big difference, having that many different strains. I don't know if one strain, we're going to eventually test it like that, but I think there might be something.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Can I make a suggestion for you guys? What you need to do is get yourself some CBD isolate, just the powder, in case you do have a slight overdose. Again, you can use that and it'll kill your buzz a little bit. That's what I have. I have a little bit of powder in a jar.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Actually, when I was going through that uncomfortable phase, like I calm myself down by my mother has some CBD at her house. It's a 5-minute trip pretty much to go get it. And I know that could have been an option because I know that the CBD oil does help with that. And, I'm going to have to order some and get that on deck because that's, I wish that I had it, last night when I was, went a little over.
Well, I had an edible last year that was too much for me. And I had the CBD isolate. I also ate a meal and took a shower because those always kill my buzzes. But it was the fast heart thing that really bothered me. And that was faster than any other drug I've ever done, including all the speed, everything. It was far faster. I was surprised. I was shocked, actually, because I had never had a fast heartbeat from weed. So anyway.
I know it's so weird and it's so unsettling. Like I know I've had fun with cocaine in the past and some speed, and it's not the fun heart race and energy that you're like all pumped up and you can go do house chores and have some fun. It's the, oh my goodness, is my heart going to explode out of my chest? I can't stop it. I'm scared now. Then I would get like
I call that the mescaline effect. And that's exactly what it's like.
Yeah.
They make your heart go absolutely apeshit.
And it's not fun.
It's more adrenaline than anything, I think. It's like an adrenaline. And that's almost.
And then I think that a couple just maybe like it set the tune for my mind.
Yeah. I've only had it happen once, so out of all times. I've never had that happen before. It was edibles too, so it's kind of hard to judge edibles. But this was just one little 1 inch by 1 inch square, and my friend ate 2 of them and didn't have much of a reaction. So I don't know if the dosage kind of went into one area of the mix, or I don't know.
Well, this is one of those areas where I think a lot of people learn the hard way. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Because we all walk in. How many times do they say, just drink one beer, and we're thinking, oh, I can slam 4 or 5 and barely feel, and it's always like that, like only do this much. And then you're like, oh, I can do 3. And then when it comes to the cannabis, you walk in and they say, eat a piece of the candy first, and then try it out. And then, oh, come on, I smoke a couple joints a week. I can handle that. And then someone goes in hard in the paint and it's over, man. And then you have a real bad taste in your mouth and you're gun shy from cannabis, and it shouldn't be like that, that's bad.
But I ate right before we ate the RSO, so I was happy to have like a full belly. I think that helped. And I got, as soon as I got like really like to that very uncomfortable place, I got a shower, and by the time I was done with my long hot shower, I was feeling much better, and Smart helped me too. But yeah, you got to be careful with that.
So back to the distiller, I got to say this. This is what I'm picturing in my mind. We're going to buy this distiller. We're going to soak the buzz. We're going to take the alcohol, dump it in the distiller, right? Set some sort of a vessel underneath the spout to catch what's coming off as it distills it, which will be our more pure alcohol. And then as that gets lower and lower and lower, there'll be some sort of vessel on the bottom of that thing that I can pull out and then draw my liquid out of it, throw it back in, and only use it just for that. Is this a correct assumption on my part and what I've seen?
Yes. And
I doing.
Yeah, I do believe I remember it that way.
Yes. Yes.
And he
reclaim.
And he had that set aside. I think, if I remember correctly, there was RSO that was in there from like the multiple times, the stuff that wouldn't come off, and he said
I couldn't remember if that was in something that he had like separate, or if that was a piece of the actual bottom. Okay,
I'm pretty sure. We'll have to go back and rewatch, but yeah, it was pretty simple. He made it look easy too, so. But hey, I want to say thank you to Artman OKJ. Looking at your plants, I'm having, the Smart and I both are having that anxiety of not growing, and it's nice to see your plants and
see person.
seed person's on that rough that schedule. Sometimes that can take a while to get used to, and
it's nice to see you too. Automation is freedom. I like to see they've been a long time listener. A lot of times they don't catch the show live, but eventually we're gonna be able to get them on whenever schedules and everything and grows come together.
So I'm glad that, and I also wanted to say I'm glad that seed person doesn't have to deal with those schedules anymore. Sometimes it can be it's hard to go back to your regular schedule too after working a night shift or a different schedule.
Well, he'll be able to come back and hang out again.
And that's pretty cool.
It's always nice. All right, maybe we can get an update on Art Man and Jace's tanks. I know.
Yeah, that your plant both of you, your plants. We noticed the growth.
Art Man's in dark tonight in your flower tank, correct?
Yeah. All I got is the flow mother there, and the this is the. Here, let me take this up.
The BM
Hey, Art, I want to say something real quick. When you first started
Puffy's golden. Yeah.
That's the golden sclericane.
Oh, come on. You got it. Yep. What'd you?
No, I was going to have you keep talking because it was cutting out, and I'm trying to edit your mic.
It is.
Yeah, we're trying to.
Okay. Go ahead and edit it. Do it.
It's perfect. Right there.
It said it dropped off. So I don't know what happened. That is Puffy's golden hurricane. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. It looks great. That's awesome.
Okay.
It was just
okay. Yeah, it's only about 7 inch. Yeah, it's 7 inches tall or something. 7 or 8 inches tall. It's 17 days in veg. So this is a really short plant in my system. I mean, this one's just shooting up like crazy, but yeah, it's tiny. Yeah, it's little. So I don't know, but I'll be putting it into flower when the flower room gets done. So,
anyway.
And I got a couple clones, but there's no roots. I got a couple seedlings. Anyway.
Yeah, that's slurricane.
That's all I got.
Medicine.
I don't know why
so.
I tried
it's
to
really short.
Mike.
It's messing up again. I know. I'll just kick back.
No, you're good.
Actually, it's you sound pretty good.
It's just once in a while.
Weird.
That's weird. I don't know.
I took everything off. Now it's just bare. There's no nothing. It's the only time I've tried that.
We'll keep playing
That's
with
crazy.
it too.
Yeah. Anyway, right, Jace, you're up.
You sound great now, though, Art. I gotta say.
Pass the torch.
Let's get you on the big time. Now these plants, they were cut about a week ago or so, or maybe 10 days.
Yeah, I think it was about 5 days ago. It was last Friday. I started the main line. This is that runt, that Laughing Buddha. I think it probably grew the most out of all of these. It's catching up a little bit. And then that Strawberry Cough in the middle, it's lanky, man. I don't like the way that one's growing, but it's healthy, so I'll keep going. I mean, it's growing like your classic stretchy, thin leaf sativa.
Yeah.
That one's got a little spot on that leaf. Not too worried about it though. Everything else looks good. But these are ready for the second topping. I've got 3 that are ready. That one, Acapulco Gold, and then the Blue Dream in the back. They're all ready for their second topping. And these 2 in the front need one more node.
So you pretty happy with everything right now?
Yeah, so far so good. I mean, of course, it's not perfect.
the growth rates seem pretty well, pretty as far as I'm concerned, they seem to be on point. I mean, for what that's worth.
Yeah, since I mainlined them last week, they've grown probably 2 to 3 nodes extra. So they're growing. They're starting to bounce back right now. You know, it's kind of slow going those first couple days or so because you cut off quite a bit of that plant.
Yeah, they look like they're doing good. They're strengthening up, spreading out.
Oh yeah, I like that sativa amongst all the indica looking plants. I think it's cool the way you have it in the center. I like it.
Yeah, it definitely stands out. I'm really having to tie it down more than I want to try to keep it level with the other ones. But I'll see what that laughing Buddha does. I like to put my shortest plant in the middle if I have to. So I might have to rearrange at some point, hopefully not.
I love them. I like the 5 different strains. They all actually look fairly different. You know, you can kind of see that it's 5 different strains. I would have no question about it, really. There's 2 up front here. They look pretty similar, but all in all, and they seem to be growing pretty equal growth rate, which they weren't early on, but they seem like they're a lot closer now, if you ask me. And I think you're doing great for 5 different strains, all in the same feed, I presume.
Yeah, they all get from the same res back there.
Yeah. See, that's the one thing nice about photos is you can have, because with auto flowers, you might have if you have 5 different, I've done this many times, you have 5 different autos. One will start showing pistils at day 21 and one waits till day 40. So feeding them out of the same res, they can start to look a bit wonky. You have to have bloom newts, transition newts, and veg newts kind of sometimes, depending on when you started them and shit. It can be a lot. So, but yeah, I like the fact that everything's doing good on the same, because a lot of times people will say this one's a heavy feeder. I've never really found that to be the truth, is that one really takes that much more than another. What I have found is dickhead plants, and I never figured out what was wrong with them. So maybe that's what it was, and I just ain't smart enough to realize it, you know?
Yeah, I believe in that. I mean, I might have 1 or 2 dickheads in this garden in here.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It seems like there's always one in the crowd that just kind of wants to be, it's always drier and the tips are burn a lot more, and it just never wants to run off with a good EC. And it's like, well, why can't you just get in line? The other 4 or 5 are great, and you have to be the one that needs a crate, and everything's different about you. But then a lot of times that one is the fire buds, you know, and you're like, I wish I had all 5 like this, you know? But
yeah, there's for sure always something to deal with, you know. It can't be easy, you know. Got to make it hard on us.
Yeah, no doubt. I want to address something here real quick that's in the chat. We'll come back. You gonna hang out for a little bit, Jace? Hey.
Yeah, I'll be here for a while.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
They're talking back surgeries and back pains and shit, and
neck, and seed person's going through some
so this is
similar,
crazy.
And that's a shame.
My wife was looking at me like, damn. So I'm kind of going through the same shit, seed person. Well, I've often addressed the back pain on here. I've had surgery on my back, my L5 and my S1 both had work on those, a discectomy and all that shit. Well, I've been having a lot of pain since my surgery. It was like 5 years ago. I go back to the doctor. They're doing the same thing, a radio frequency ablation. Now, here's how it went down for me, seed person. They told me his is different. It's in his neck.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that goes, but they told me that the radio frequency ablation would work on my L5, or it could possibly work there. They don't know. They were going to do like a test, just like he was explaining. They do a test shot. They do that once. Yeah, if you get the pain goes away, they go back and they test it again. If it works twice, then they do the real ablation. One of the things with me is it's $300 cover charge every time I go there to get it done for my end, you know, so it's almost $1,000 to see if it's going to work. But I guess I should know after the first 2. Now I wrote about the medicine they got me on. I'm not big about taking pills. This is the best miracle. I've been through a lot of back pain over the last decade, man, and spent a lot of time sleeping on floors, a lot of time strung out on pain pills, trying to help this shit, early on. Tons of shit, man. And I'll be happy to say I've been taking pain pills for a long, long time. But that diclofenac that they put me on is an absolute miracle drug for me. And I recommend anyone try it. I literally went, it's just absolutely amazing. And I don't say that with light. I've taken steroids, the whole deal, had some of them shots. That pill is the only thing that's ever truly worked for me. And it puts you in a place where you can actually move around and get shit done and do exercises and kind of strengthen yourself.
And prepare for what's to come, because it is not meant for long term.
Yeah.
And it does come with some risky side effects. So
yeah,
just do your homework. And just Smod is fortunate that it has worked.
I had an SI too. I'm not sure if anybody knows what that. It's a sacroiliac joint. It's where your hip kind of meets your spine and then your leg and all shit comes together. And they nailed me with that. I think that was a steroid shot. It's supposed to last. And I had that about 3 months ago, and I still haven't felt anything, but I'm also on this medicine. I'd love anything not to take medicine, but I can say this: I've had back pain so bad for so long that I actually contemplated suicide. I was thinking I'm not going to be a junkie forever, and I can't even get up and barely take a piss. I can't feel my toes. I can't get a hard on. I feel like I'm going to shit myself all the time. I mean, these were serious, serious issues that I was facing in my 30s, and it came down to a head. So when people say about back pain, I'm like, my ears perk up. Just like when someone starts talking about growing, I'm thinking that's something that I'm very intimate with and understand when people tell me about their pain and shit. And I know what it can take. And some people respond to different things, and I hope you do find some
relief with
relief, whatever it is, man, and I just hope it works for you. We always tell people don't take the pain pills, but some people they help and some people can take them responsibly. So it's not always the best advice to say just stay away from them totally. Some people couldn't make it through the day sometimes if they didn't have those. And there's better ways, but sometimes you have to do what you got to do. Pain will make a person do some fucked up shit. I can tell you that right now. Shit you would never think you would do.
Motivator, yes, for sure.
It'll make you do things you never thought you would do in your whole life, I sat down.
That's what hope is for, because you got to hang on.
Oh man, I used to cry for days on end. I had a shitty doctor that wouldn't do nothing but feed me pills, and it was just
put you in a place. Yeah,
it was a bad situation, and you start to feel helpless. And then you start to think like people don't really understand what I'm going through. They think I'm making this shit up, and then it gets to be all fucked up in your head. You're the people you're working for. My boss at the time thought like, nah, you're lying to me, man. You're on drugs and you're drinking. I'm like, no, man, I'm not. That's a side effect of what I'm going through, not vice versa. And it really can mess your life up. So my heart just breaks for anybody that has that back pain, man. I know Art Man suffers with shit too, and tries shots and does shit. So he knows.
Yep, ended my career.
That's why I'm happy to see that slurricane growing in your garden, because I heard so many wonderful things about it from Puffy D, who also had some pain and similar experiences.
It's why we made that RSO pretty much, because I kept telling everybody about my back pain, what I was trying to go through, and they're like, try the RSO. Try the RSO to help you sleep.
Yeah, the insomnia too.
I can't ever sleep. My back's always hurting and shit. And that's one big reason why. Worrying about back pain and how I'm going to handle it. How am I going to run a business and shit with my back just screaming at night and you can't get no rest? You're trying to sleep on a floor. Yeah. Yeah, Raj, that's Roger. That's exactly what I'm on, man. I would love to be able to swap that out. Hey, what's up, scene person?
Am I all muffled?
Glad that you.
New headphones.
Hey, buddy.
We hear you great.
How's it going?
It's going. Good to see everyone. It's been a minute, so yeah, hope you're all doing well. But I wanted to join because you were talking about pain and stuff. And yeah, I got that shot today. So I don't know. I don't feel better than I did going into it, but I did
Okay.
get a headache. I got a headache from it. So, but here's
See,
the
here's
thing
the
is,
difference.
no, you go
Here's the
ahead.
difference too, Seed Person. They told me this, man. They said if it's your L5, a radio frequency ablation can work. If it's your S1 giving you the pain, if it's radiating from your S1, I'd have to go to a neurosurgeon and literally be cut open to work on those nerves because radio frequency ablation wouldn't work. So I guess you wasn't given that option or anything, but it makes me wonder, like if it's somewhere else you'd be getting your pain from,
Well,
like a different.
okay, so let me tell you the whole thing real quick. I went to see this doctor. He did a X-ray, told me that I had separation in my C3, C4. It was like 5 millimeters separated when I looked down, which is like more than it should be by a lot. And
Yeah.
then he told me to get an MRI, which I did, and he's showing me this is where you're getting some pinching, and then said, okay, well, we can do these shots for the pain. And I was like, okay. And then he like hesitated, and I was like, I was like, are we gonna fix it, or is it just gonna take the pain away? And he's like, have you done physical therapy? And I was like, no. So then he's like, you're gonna do that too. So I scheduled it. So I did the physical therapy at 2 o'clock today, and then I did the shot at 3:45. So I went to PT, met the guy, described all my symptoms to him, and instead of saying, okay, we're just going to take the pain away with some shots, he was like, let me show you a 3D diagram of all the nerves in the body and the muscles that when they're inflamed, they put pressure on these different nerves. And he's like, each one of your symptoms can be like attributed to these muscles being inflamed in different areas. And I'm like, great. So how do we fix that? He's like, we can do all these different things, to strengthen it and to take the strain off the neck because it's all posture related. And I was like, this is exactly what I thought it was. Like, this is what I've been saying for the last year is like, my neck is messed up because I have poor posture and I've had poor posture for years. And now my head is tilted forward. The neck is supposed to curve backwards so that the weight of the head is putting pressure directly down the
Yeah.
spine. And mine
Yep.
doesn't do that. So I have to hold, literally, my muscles are constantly holding my head up, which is like holding a bowling ball up all the time.
Yeah. That shit
And
would
he's like,
definitely lead to some pain, man.
yeah. And he's like, we can fix this. We just got to teach you to stand and sit properly. I was like, let's do it. So right now, I'm trying to be tall as I'm standing and walking around my garage. I'm
That's
standing
cool,
as
man.
if I could. He's like, how tall are you? And I told him, he said, try and be an inch taller. And so that's what I'm doing.
Hopefully it works, man.
Oh yeah, I hope it works too. That's good news. I'm assuming because it's something you can fix with some work and physical therapy as opposed to like
Pills, shots.
or shots or
Yeah.
surgery.
Worst case
Because,
scenario is
yeah,
getting your freaking neck cut open, man.
Even getting those shots, I gotta say, that's very scary. You guys
It
are
is.
brave. I don't know if
Well,
I
I had
could
a
do
I
panic
that.
hope it
attack
works
last
out.
night. I had a panic attack last night. I was reading about it and I was like, fuck. And then I just like freaked out for a little bit.
I don't blame you, man. I
Right,
did the
yeah,
same thing.
rightfully so.
When I went for mine, I did the same shit, man. I felt like a lab sample or lab rat sample or something, man. And I just felt weird. I don't know. I don't like going over to the hospital and doing all that shit.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
felt out of place, man. I feel like every time I go to the hospital, I feel like I'm gonna get sick, man. When I go there, I'm thinking I'm going to where everybody goes when they're sick as can be, man. When you can't deal with it at home, where do you go to the hospital? And I'm walking right in there. So I feel like I get
You
real
got that
anxious.
drug resistant staphylococcus.
Yeah, man.
Oh
Yeah.
man, yeah, scary place.
Yep. Hey, cheers, XY, Ross and Nate. Did you see that, man? We got to get out there. He's giving away hash. Well, maybe not to everybody, but he's saying he's bringing some hash and triploids out there.
That's cool.
And them triploids are supposed to be
excited
real
about them.
strong and have better terps and more THC. I'll try that maybe. At first, I was against them. Now I just kind of want to be proven wrong. or right, I guess. That's what they say. I hope they live up to it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, see,
Wasn't
person,
is
I'm
that
glad
whole
that
thing about?
worked. I'm glad
Sorry,
that worked
Spencer.
for you, and that you're not having to take the shots anymore. That's just
Yeah,
Well,
scary.
we
I
hope.
think
We
it's
hope
going
you
to
don't
be
have to.
better. I don't think I'm going to go back for the other one. I will say, you know, maybe down the road if I have to, but I think that learning, it's like it's all about relearning how to stand properly. Because yeah, I tell this story.
I'd be
You know,
honest
the
with your
reason why I have
doctor
bad.
too and tell him, man.
Well, I'm
Say,
going to.
hey,
I'm going to
those
say I
shots
really
didn't
like the
work for
PT.
me, right? You know, because then he
Yeah,
might not recommend them for the next dude as fast. Or if you know, I mean, I'm not sure how that goes down, but I think open communication with a doctor is important. Tell them I don't want to take pain pills. I smoke cannabis every day, and I'm never going to stop.
I did tell him
And
that.
yeah, fucking right, man. And you should be the biggest part of your treatment,
That's
not
right.
the
Because you know,
doctor.
I went into the last time I went to the doctor for this was like a year ago, and I went in like they're gonna tell me what's wrong, and then she was like, "There's nothing wrong," and I was like, "Okay," and then I was stuck with a fucking massive bill. So this time I went in and I
Yeah,
knew what the price was gonna be when I went into it, and I was like, "I'm hiring this guy. Like he's
yeah,
not, you know, he's a fucking that's his job. I'm hiring him. I'm the client,
yeah. When I
and
get
he's
my
gonna tell
bill,
me
it
what's wrong with
shows.
me, or you know."
When I get my bill, it shows by the hour, bro. It says right there on it, see person. This is how much they want per hour. This is your cost to the you know, your end of that. So
Get your money's worth.
yeah, man. And I'm glad that you're able to tell them this is the best that's working for me.
And you know, Smart had said earlier, like pain being a big motivator. This will be like that would be a motivator to like you said, you're already practicing, you're already taking those steps to getting better. And oh, I'm glad this is good news. I'm glad to hear that you're, you know, that's what it was the muscle, and that your posture. That seems like maybe not easy by any means, but you know, something that you can.
Here's a good one. If you're listening to this show later on through whatever outlet, if you're having back pain, come hit any one of us up and we'll let you know how it worked out. Seriously, I think in a couple months we'll all know whether, like, I'll know whether my shots are working, how everything's kind of pans out. And you know, there's a lot of people suffer with back pain. A lot of people. So anyhow, I guess I'll get off of that. But
I just want to say real quick before you switch on to the more relevant stuff. I had three major things happen in the last 3 years. I was having panic attacks when I first met y'all, remember? And
I do remember.
I came to this community and was like bare my soul way back in the day. And then a year later, I fucked my neck up and was stuck in bed and whatever. Oh, and then I also had that inhalation injury, and y'all were there for me every single time. Every single time I needed support, this community, especially Smart and Crispy and Artman, were there for me. So I'm super grateful that I have you guys. I consider you family, and I love all of you.
Oh,
we love you too, Seed Person.
Without a doubt, dude. Without a doubt.
You're welcome, buddy.
Yeah.
We're lucky
So,
to have
anyways.
you as a friend. We're highly blessed to know you.
Yeah. One of the ways you can tell a good friend is how they talk about you when you're not around. So all you have to do is go around the community and find out. Like you ought to see the American one was here the other day, and maybe your ears were ringing. He was the first one to give you a shout out, and then we were all talking about all the shit that you've sent out. I think everybody was chiming in saying he sent me this, he sent me this, he sent me these cookies, blah blah blah. So we are the lucky ones to have you in the community, Seed Person, and a lot of us are like,
yeah, we are.
Changed our lives.
Yes.
You know.
Well said.
Awesome.
It's all love.
A lot of grower love here, man. It's
Yeah.
just so amazing. It's such good feels too. This community rocks.
Yep.
And what a great uniter, cannabis and great medicine. Hoping that we all find our strains.
It brings all different walks of life. Because let's be honest, a lot of us wouldn't hang out if we didn't grow cannabis. We wouldn't really be in any other situation in our life where we would come together with such passion if there wasn't a plant involved. Seriously.
Yeah.
I don't play video games and shit. You know, some guys do this, some guys fish, some guys hunt.
Yeah.
You know, and so we would be in different walks of life, but
Yeah.
this one brings us together. I love it. I met a lot
I
of
don't-
people, learned a
I
lot
want
of
to shout
shit.
out everybody in chat because I don't have access to my computer, so I can't reply. But everybody that's tagging me, I see it on my app here, and I love all of you as well. So sorry to interrupt, Spunk.
No,
Oh,
you're not
no, never.
interrupting, dude. We should be back and forth. Let's see. Maybe I rambled on too much. There's seed person stuff. He don't have no that, so we'll get up there. Oh, here's Jess and Beans just about to pop something you give them.
Nice.
Northern Lights.
That was with Green Fingers, gave away a bunch of stuff.
There goes Art, man. He's about to get his
Okay.
bill good on. You and I mean.
Uh-huh. He's gonna break out the glass. I like your t-shirt too, Art Man. It's very festive. I
Damn.
love the color.
Damn hippies.
Ah, tie-dye's my jam.
Damn long-haired hippies. There's Mr. Green Fingers. The salt and seeds. He's muted. Art Man's muted. He just looks like he's furious, screaming at the screen. What? That's where it's at. A NASA hat, tie-dye, and hash under glass, man. That's gold. Absolute gold.
Yes, it is.
Only here on the Smart Poker YouTube channel.
I feel like I'm hanging out with the coolest people too.
Cheers,
You guys
sacred.
are awesome.
Paula Ployd's. Oh, here we go. Ross Nante, because that's what I wanted to get back to. Art Man, wasn't we told? You guys, Albians here, was told the same shit. Jace, he brought a lot of this to our attention from another podcast about how much the THC and shit was better.
Yeah, they have the I mean, that's what they're claiming that is.
Oh, you talking about those triploids from Humboldt?
Triploids. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, any of
Poly-
them. He says they're
polyploids.
exaggerating or lying
Yeah.
or whatever. So,
Yeah, they
how
had a
disappointing.
big herming
What is
issue.
that 30%?
Yeah.
Hey,
That was
Rock,
pretty ugly.
did you have any herms? Or no, he said he got his from clones. I think. He said don't take seeds. I don't know.
Okay, just getting the clone.
Salt and
Because
seeds.
they make sterile seeds, don't they? They don't,
They don't make
Well, the
seeds.
or whatever.
first-
Yeah, but
They
it's not the
refuse.
whole
They
point.
refuse the pollen.
Like that's there was some people saying that they were doing it for money and boasting about all these bigger, better buds, and then but you can't breed with them. You can't make your own. You got to buy them from the source.
Or
And then-
clone.
That's what my understanding was too.
But then
Yeah.
they had a bunch of herms, is what I heard as well. So
Yes, so we heard the same.
Yeah, they sold. We did the
17.
math here. They sold 6,000 seeds at $30 a seed, right? Is that right? And then
Yep.
180.
Yeah, it was like yeah.
Yep.
Rock says
17 out of 19 growers had herms. So
Yeah, that's
then
right.
they declared them. Then they declared them outside only. So I don't know.
That's right.
Right, which would make a lot of sense. Like if they were like
You can't
bred
declare
and
that.
tested outside, and I guess there'd be a lot of variations if they're doing all that work. It just maybe they just need to do a little more work.
I guess the obvious thing here is you don't change the declaration of that something that major after you made 180 grand selling them. You know what I mean? That's very important information that someone needs to know when they're paying $30 a seed that, you know, possible harms inside. And wouldn't it beg the question that why release them if they're, I don't know. It seems why release them if they're that finicky and you know they're going to harm, especially at that price? Shouldn't that mean you hold on to them and work them a bit longer?
Nope. You want to be first.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You want to be first. That's it. No,
Maybe
you want to be first.
Missing a lot. If you
You've
have
got
the
to beat everybody. Yeah, you got to beat everybody. You got to be the man.
But if
I would
your
like
your
to.
reputation's at stake, right?
Yeah, I would think they would do something like that, like maliciously, because they're a reputable company. So why smear their name, intentionally just to make a extra dollar?
Exactly. That doesn't make sense. If we're talking about bottom lines here,
Hold on. Did you guys grow up with Wu-Tang? Cash rules everything around me.
So if cash
Yeah.
is rule, then this
That's
is
it.
an accident. Maybe. I don't know.
I actually
It was a
ran
bad
into
decision.
I ran into a situation with a larger breeder company just recently, and called them out on some shit that they pulled with me, and they did not. Nobody contacted me about it, but a lot of people were there to defend me, and then they just called me liar, and I
Yeah,
didn't believe
I
the post.
remember.
I feel bad because
Yeah,
I lost my Instagram and I didn't know any of this was going on. I still don't know what happened or who it was or anything, but I did see a post that mentioned something about.
Yeah, I showed Smart the post. I'm pretty sure.
You don't want to name them?
It was the Cali Connection. They put up a post asking for. It seemed like they were asking for advice for their company. What can we do better? Why do people not like us? And I just said, I messaged you guys about a dud pack that I bought, and you agreed to send me a new one, and then ghosted me. And they never replied to me on that comment either. So, but it started like a giant like war in the thread of comments, and their their PR people or whatever Instagram account people like got in my DMs. I sent them a screenshot of them ghosting me, and then they were like, "That's not the real account. That's not the email. You're a liar. Like you're just doing this to get a free pack of seeds." And I was like, "No, I'm not doing that. But
Oh wow!
I'm also done with this conversation," and I blocked them. So
yeah,
but I'm not trying to start any shit. Like I thought they were asking for advice. So
oh wow!
I don't know.
Damn.
And you were trying to do them a favor, man. Your heart's in the right places. We all know you're that person.
Well, I used to put their shit on in the chat and like on my Instagram and all their
I remember
promos and stuff. Yeah, and then they never like acknowledged any of that shit and like didn't reply when I asked for a favor. I'm like, hey, I want to grow this. Like, so, but whatever. I was gonna say you should grow from the people that are in the chat that have seeds to share. Those are the people the small breeders that do it for the craft of it, not for the money.
Yep.
You're right. As a matter of fact, I got another pack coming up, the Hooli Grow Pack. So Hooli has decided to send me. I asked him if he would be interested in sharing some of his stuff, and some of it is his, but some of it is some other stuff that he said it was extra that he had. So we got a Hooli grower pack coming up in the future. So anyway,
awesome! How exciting!
Yeah, man.
So that's a good reason to stick around and hang out with us and keep coming back. And if you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe button.
Yeah, I have that as a banner. I should put it up there for a little bit. Anybody want to join? There's a link there. Come hang out, smoke a joint.
And we're excited. We have I was thinking the other day of all the grows. I've been fantasizing just little grows. I mean, you guys do that? I'm sure you do. Like think about, we could do this. We could do these strains. We could do that. It's gonna be hard to decide what to do first and what order. But y'all know Smart and I have talked about not being able to make it all the way through, and we are talking about getting a small 2x2 tent that we can just fire up right now until we can get our grow room back up and running. And that's going to be fun, deciding what's going on with what's going to be going in there. So the future looks pretty excited. Not to mention what that tent can be in the future as we reopen our grow room. I want to take a clone and I want to keep a mother that I can take clones from, just to see how long I can just keep it in a state of suspended animation.
We're gonna try all kinds of cool new shit, man.
Like I'm curious. I want to do that. I want to keep a mother. I just want to see if I can keep her around, not neglect her too much, but neglect her enough, or whatever the rules are with that. It's like seems like new territory, and it'll be a fun experiment.
No problem. I always have moms. Lots of mothers.
Yeah, I wanna have a mom around. So, and what's the best way to decide like what mom to have? Like, what do you look for when you're
You want to continue to
Just
smoke over and over,
over
and
and
over.
over and over? Just
Something
That's
you
the
can
key.
handle. Multiple jars.
Yep.
I'd like to have
Something very
multiple.
special.
special.
You want a
Okay.
mom that has several strains grafted to it.
There you go.
Huh.
Somebody needs to do that. We
Now
all
that's
talk
something
about it, but
doctors.
nobody's done
Okay,
it.
Frankenseed.
Oh man, I
We
can't.
know what
I
your
got a
project
I got a
is.
project going on already. I got this.
Oh yeah.
What is
doing
it?
some breeding. I'll show y'all hopefully here in a little bit if I'm still up for
Okay.
it. But yeah. So I crossed the green crack to platinum float, and then I got only 3 of those popped. And so I'm gonna grow that out, and I'm gonna cross it to Nightmare Cookies male, and stabilize that line hopefully. And I got a name picked out for it and everything. But I'll show you guys the tents in a little bit when my wife is done down there. 'Cause I'm
You
out
You
in
keep
the
the
sent
name
me
on
garage.
the
that one,
back.
didn't you? Did
No,
you
I
send me that one?
Green Crack to Platinum Valley, which is the
Oh, okay.
SFVOG Platinum Cross to the Green Crack. I reversed it. And that was from the Cali Connection, actually.
Okay. Hey, you give him credit though. What the hell? We know you're a good guy because you even gave him credit after all that.
Yeah, well, it was good smoke, so I picked it out of the pack and crossed it to a bunch of stuff.
That's awesome. I'm
Thank you.
excited. And I'm also excited about that name. He said he already has a name picked out. Hell yeah.
He's good at that.
Yes.
I'm boycotting the Cali Connection now. Next time something, because people always say, "Oh, you ever hear of this seed company? I was going to buy something from them," and I'd be like, "Nope, don't do it,
I will,
man."
I will say I'm not going to talk any more shit or anything. That was just to explain what happened, but I just won't recommend them anymore. Or if somebody asks me, I will not. They say like, "Is
Steer
this
them
a good
away.
company?" I'll say, "No, I don't think you should. Here's a better one." But not
There
in
you go.
a mean way, or I'm not being vicious or anything. It's like, it's just my experience.
I gotta
Well,
say,
you pick
this
the
is
ones
cool.
that's gonna do good.
Yeah,
Yeah. And one that are decent humans and have a good moral compass, because there's a couple out there that their moral compass is busted, and I just don't like supporting people like that.
it's nice having Seed back here in the evenings. He doesn't have to get up anymore. It's like when your friend goes to jail and then they finally get out and they start coming around. It's like, oh, I missed having you around, man.
Or your friend goes to night shift and you're like, you're a zombie now.
Oh yeah,
My
yeah.
cousin's going through that right now. She's doing that night shift and she's just like, I'm a zombie 24/7. It's like I can't catch up on my sleep. I'm like, yep. Coffee.
Been there.
Lime. Oh, I'm sorry, I was reading the chat here. Lime headband.
Yeah, lime headband. Caught my eye.
Remember Cheech and Chong when he was teaching them dudes how to talk? He was teaching them English. That's the only word they knew, headband. That's why they just walk around saying headband. That's what I think of whenever I think of that. Ah, here we go. I see some plants. Sacred.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
How's it going, man?
Doing pretty well. Just wanted to hop on real quick, show you what I got going on.
Yeah, they look nice, man. Different sizes. What all you got there?
So these are a strain that I'm working on. I got 2 years ago on 420. They were doing the seed giveaway. I won a pack of I won a couple packs, but I used the Street Fighter from Masonic. It's a Starfighter cross, and I crossed it to a purple Urkel from Pyramid Seeds. I made those 2 years ago, and I'm working on those. I got like a few of them. And then these right here are Tao's Amy Aces.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, just these are a week behind these. And then these I just sprouted on the full moon. These are Northern Lights THCA from Hemp Living or something like that. And then
Okay.
these two back here, I tried to sprout 5 of them. Only 2 of them opened up. These are GG4 times GG4 BX6, the original glue from GG Strains. I won those from Masonic on a seed night giveaway. I bought a pack, and if you bought a pack, he entered you to win these, and these were gifted from what's his name? Damn, shit, I can't. I'm forgetting his name right now, but I can't believe I
No,
can't
that's
remember.
cool, man.
Josie.
No, it wasn't gifted from Josie. It was gifted from damn, Mean Gene. Mean Gene threw in these and 2 other packs for the Friday night special. When I was in Italy, I won them. So, but I'm trying to find like the best male, either from Amy or from mine, and then cross them to these. I'm trying to figure something out because these little GGs already got THC or trichomes all over them. Like they're freaking. I've never seen this before, but they're already. You
Right
can't
on.
see it with the camera, but I'm excited about it. I got this new white tent. They say it's 10% more reflective, but
That's wild, isn't it?
Well, that's pretty
Whites and
cool.
reds.
I've never seen one of
Yeah.
them.
yeah, they're
That's nice. Oh, by
nice.
the way, I've never met you, and I've never talked to you in person. Glad to meet you, man.
Yeah,
I've
is
seen you
that
for a
you, Art
long
Man?
time. Yep, that's me.
Yeah, I recognize your voice. It's good to finally talk to you too. Good to be on the show. Thank you, Smart
That's
and
really
Christy.
Yeah, your
that's a
plants
cool
are
setup.
beautiful.
Good selection, man. The chat saying they like Masonic.
Yeah, he's always giving away free seeds, and he's pretty cool. Like I listen to him every now and then whenever he gets on. He's just real, you know what I mean? He just keeps it real, and
Mean Gene
that's
from
what
Mendocino. He seems to be a righteous cat too, man. And I like that white tent myself. That's like the panda film. That panda film is supposed to be some of the best reflection. White paint is supposed to be like as good or better than Mylar. So I think you're on top of something here. Can I ask who makes it? Grow Faster.
the
Is
only
that a 4x4?
thing. Yeah, it's a 40 by 40. It's supposed to be. You know what I mean? It's not really 4 by 4. It's the
No,
biggest one. It's the biggest one they make right now. But the only thing is, these zippers, they're not light proof. Like when I close it, you can see little lights peeking out. So I just got to
yeah.
darken the room. I wrote them a review and I told them, I was like, if you guys are making tents, you should like light proofing should be a priority. But
Indeed.
I don't know. But it was only $100, so that's why I got it. I'm gonna get a better one next time. Make sure it's light proof and read all the reviews and all that.
It's funny, Sacred, because we got our 2 4x4 tents when AC Infinity, as soon as they come on the market, we were some of the first ones to get them. They were $99 a piece. They were having like a beginning sale or whatever. Shout out to our friend OC Grower. He always gives us the heads up on the sales and shit. But we jumped on 2 of them, and then the same way, man. When the negative pressure kicks in, you can see little pinholes all around the zipper. Some spots are worse than others and shit. And
It's actually the stitching.
yeah,
That's not you can't see the light through the zipper as opposed to like the stitching that stitches the zipper to the tent.
Yeah, that's exactly where it is. Like I'll show you right now. Watch this.
Yeah.
When you zip it up, hold on. Like
yeah, I seen it. I saw it. Yep.
that hole right here,
Yeah,
and then it's right here.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get this month. I'm gonna get like black tape and put it on these at least because I don't really open these. Then I'm gonna figure something out from the inside. Try to get some white duct tape or whatever. But for now, it's working good.
Yeah,
I got.
And I've never found ours to be a real issue if the room outside of it's not like
super bright.
Yeah, if you're not, if you just have like one bulb burning in the corner or some shit, I don't think
tight, you know.
Yeah.
So.
No, those are great strains, man. You look nice and healthy. I seen you had some Bokashi over there. Is this soil that you made or bought or?
What is it?
I said, are they in soil that you made? I saw your Bokashi Earthworks over there, the sticker.
Yeah, I started Bokashi's I got some Bokashi, the Microbes Plus, the Bavaria
on.
Bassiana, the little vial of the Bavaria Bassiana. But I just got just a few different things from my local store in Ohio, Mycorrhizae, Mother's Little Helper. But my soil is actually Mother Earth groundswell.
Okay.
It
Mother
grounds
Earth.
well. And
That's
if you can
cool.
go, dude, that's some potent soil. And it's all organic. It's got like, okay, I'll have to read it to remember. It's been 2 years since I've been in the loop, but if you go to a hydro store, they'll give you a good deal on it. If you try to order it online, it's like $40, but you go to the store, you can get them for 20, 21 bucks a bag.
No
But
doubt.
I'm trying to recycle my soil, so that's going to be the first time I'm doing that. So I'm just trying to build it up and get the immune system in the plants, you know.
Hey, I wanted to say, well, somebody's trying to join, but we can see their face, and I want to make sure before I put them on the screen.
Okay, he's cool.
Oh, you're all right with
Awesome.
it? Cool. I wanted to make sure when I add people,
It's good to see you.
Watch. This is what happens. I'm going to add Scrubs to the stage here, and watch. It takes the big screen away on purpose.
Yeah.
And if the person's still talking, I have to kind of go and put them back on the big screen, and then I think they feel like I dissed them or something. What's happening, Scrubs?
Not much, brother. How
Hey,
y'all?
hey, Scrubs.
What's up, Scrubs?
What's up, buddy?
Dude, I haven't talked to you in a long time.
How's it going, bud?
How's it been?
Oh, I'm doing all right. I'm trying to figure out how to flip my camera around.
I was hoping you had some big old outside girls to show us.
I got a couple volunteers from last year.
Oh, those are always fun,
Cool.
right?
Yeah, I have no idea what they are. How in the hell?
Hey, while you're doing that, I wanted to make sure Sacred. I didn't know. I didn't want him to. Was you done, Sacred? Did you?
Yeah,
have
I was
anything?
done. That's about it. Just glad to be on. Appreciate you guys. You guys keep me sane every week. So want to tell you guys appreciate
Good
y'all.
to see you.
We
Yeah.
Glad to
appreciate
meet
you.
you.
too.
Thank you. I'm glad to meet you all finally. I've been listening to you guys for years and talking shit in the chats, and just want to let you all know I'm sorry for that, and God bless you all, and I appreciate you all.
Clean up.
It's Ohio, man. We're a little jealous over here in Pittsburgh because we're not too far from the Ohio line, and it's like, damn, they got it over there, you know. And but
You'll get it.
No,
You'll
we'll be
get it.
joining you soon. We'll be joining
You'll
you
get it.
soon.
It wasn't easy for Ohio. They tried to repeal some shit at the last minute and everything else. So cheers to them for hanging on
And
to their rights.
we're super happy that you're there. You
Yeah.
know, we're
One more domino falls.
yeah, and come on, Pennsylvania. But Smart and I aren't going to change.
Nah, we'll get in
We're
less
still
trouble.
growing.
Huh.
We're still growing the way we grow, right?
Damn, Scrubs, that thing's it's giving you hell. If you touch it, it should come up with a camera, man, with a circle around the outside of it.
No, not on my phone. It's not doing it. Not like it did with YouTube.
You got to go to settings and hit camera, and then it'll say camera 2 rear facing.
Settings.
Yeah.
Under settings.
Settings.
Okay.
Camera.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who
Nice.
said that. You're the man.
Sacred is the man.
Yeah, don't be taking no advice from Smart and I because we're like blonde over here. Come on.
You'll be disconnected.
I can't see.
Actually, I learned that from Green Fingers. I heard him tell someone else, and that's how I remembered it. So thank you, Green Fingers.
Right on.
Awesome.
He cut off.
Did we lose him? Oh no, we lost him.
That wasn't
He'll be
me.
back.
I hit the wrong button.
I hit the wrong button too.
He
I
fat
did. That's why I kicked myself off a little while ago.
Hopefully he comes back. He's just got it turned. There he is.
Yeah.
They just got it turned around. He's just going to show us the tent. There he is.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, I hit the wrong button. Camera. Front camera. Back camera.
I'll
Called
put you
it.
on the big screen.
You
There we
did
go.
it. All right.
I see him. Maybe if you
Got
turn
it.
it sideways,
Which-
it'll be 100%.
And what do we got going, Scrubs?
Right.
Man, we haven't seen you in a long time.
I know.
This is the last of that SMG that you gave me.
Right on. How'd that work out?
It work got busy and I didn't get to play as much, but it turned out really good. Yeah, I'm gonna take some clones off of this for a couple people.
Excellent. I'm glad to see you're sharing it.
I just got this one in from a friend. I really like it. It's called Cherry Paloma.
That's cool.
I've heard of that. A lot of people over at Caribou have that.
I
Yeah,
was gonna say DGC too.
Yeah, that's some good stuff. This one's called Sky Blue. I've never had it, but did I see right as C person in here?
C person's here, yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm here.
My man, looky here.
Oh, is that the freak show?
The Super Freak.
Yeah, Super Freak. That's awesome.
Freaky. Oh, that's weird.
Wild.
Cool.
And here's your Lilac Diesel. What was it? Lilac Diesel and something cross. Your autos.
The banana, the autos. Yeah, that's awesome. It looks a little bit scraggly there. The genetics.
Yeah. Well, it ain't had the best care either. I'll tell you.
Hey man, I was calling chucking, so it was just for fun and practice. But yeah, it's really cool to see people growing the stuff that I made.
Oh yeah, man, it smells good. It don't look too bad. A little.
I will say it looks more like the banana than the Lilac Diesel, because the Lilac Diesel was just chunky, and the banana was more just a spear-shaped colas. Yeah, like that.
Yeah, that's all I've had. That's all I've had time for.
Which ones were the volunteers? Oh, they're still outside.
Oh,
I thought you brought them in. I thought I was thinking maybe you uprooted them early and brought them inside or something.
No, it actually did the same thing last year where I planted too early. These actually started flowering and then now they're reverting back. So it's definitely.
You had a volunteer last year up close, yeah, down on the end, and it was you wasn't sure, but you had that big one right there, right beside it the year before.
But you can see where it started to flower.
Wow.
And now they're all reverting back.
I always wondered
that
if that
looks
was
like
possible,
the silver
man.
pearl to me.
So
did you grow silver pearl over there?
Yeah, that's what this one was.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like. The leaves do. The leaves look like the silver pearl.
Yeah, that real long, stringy.
Yeah.
Oh, good eye.
So let me get this right. If my mind's right, these seeds were volunteers, so they were just there. They sprouted real early from the warmth when the days were still too short though in spring, and it started to flower almost immediately. Now that the days got longer, it went back into veg.
Yeah, you can see that's why it's stretching so much. It stunts it a good bit. So
I always wondered this about outside. I was thinking because I played the tape all the way through in my head, and I'm thinking start real early. You'd almost have to add light to keep them.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who it was last year. It was actually somebody from Virginia that we were on your show, and they were like, "You're outside way too early," and I was. I mean, before the middle of May, you're risking this here.
Yeah, because you're in close to probably the same zone that we're in, and that's our plant times like May 15th. And I don't know if I think more for the frost, but that would work. That timeline works.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here around when it starts staying dark till about 8:30 or 9 o'clock is when it really helps. Or that's when I start sticking them out. But yeah, you see, I'm empty there. The cages are empty.
Oh wow. Getting ready.
No, I'd like to. I'm actually looking to rent this house out where we moved, and it's tit for tat on finding somebody that's cool with the extracurricular activities.
Right.
Yeah.
But if I have to move it, I will.
to rent that place out in a legal state. That should be pretty easy.
You would think.
I would think.
Yeah, I'm
I would
curious,
move right
like-
in there and just be like, hey, that's all right. You grow yours there. Keep your males out there, landlord, because I'm going to have my plot over here. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll keep an eye on yours for you, you know, for
You know, I never gave thought to the people that you all are in legal states, but no, I guess not everybody would see it as cannabis being cool. I'm sure you probably encounter people that are the old school haters of the cannabis plant. You guys ever have any of that?
A lot.
Judging?
Yeah, there's a
We do
lot.
too.
There's a lot of people that have accepted it and just kind of brush it off anymore, but there's other people that still pretty well frown on it.
I seen like in Michiganders, it was like what do I want to say? A band of mothers. I don't know what else to call them. Like the mothers were all against cannabis. They wanted it like shut down. It was like a coalition of mothers against cannabis and shit. And it was a bunch of young mothers, and they were like, "This is a drug. We don't want our kids growing up with it being normalized." And like, they're out there trying to really set everything back as much as they can. And it's unfortunate, you know.
I bet those ladies
doing that for alcohol.
For madness.
They normalized that pretty quick.
Yeah, I bet mom goes home and has a glass of wine after her battling cannabis all day.
Yeah, exactly.
Cocktail.
Taking like anxiety meds and
have you guys
A little
met my alter
Valium,
ego?
cocktail.
Yeah, my alter ego, Judgy McJudgerson.
I think a lot of people are uneducated because they don't see the benefits and the medical side of it, curing a number of ailments and causing people that like could have no normal life now can have a normal life and peaceful and loving and fulfilled life because of cannabis, where if that wasn't in their life, they wouldn't be having that kind of life. And you know, getting those stories out with the medical side of it is important. I think it's the best way to get like those people that aren't coming around as quick as we'd like them to, or that are willing just to be like, hey, you do your thing, I'm over here doing my thing.
You know, intent is everything, right, guys? Intent is everything. And so what we have to do is educate those people. Ignorance is bliss. I was uneducated about a lot of things and was wrong about a lot of things in my life because of that. And I think if you showed these mothers a small child with cancer and a caregiver growing cannabis, and you told them this is what it can do, you know, it could help these people, these kids, these patients, and really give them some quality of life. And as we've learned here from Spartan and millions of other, or not millions, but many of other people that, you know, well, maybe millions of people have gotten better from the cannabis oils and really have beat some heavy duty cancers that they weren't meant to really get out of, like stage 4 pancreatic cancer. That's like one of the worst you can have. And that's why the Spartan story always sticks out with me about his uncle. I think they eventually lost the battle a couple years later, but to hear that he went into remission with only like almost no chance to live at that point was amazing. You know, it gave me goosebumps. And then I think ATG Acres, we had like 5 or 6 other people jump on and they wanted to tell their story. And I was like, wow, man. And then, you know, you can look around the web and find a million of them, but I think that's part of what changed people's minds. Me personally, I grow to get high. I like to hang out and smoke weed. I don't have any kids and I don't owe anybody any explanations, you know? So I do my thing. I wouldn't grow if I had kids that could be taken away from me and shit. You know, that would change a lot of stuff in my illegal state here. But so I don't recommend anyone do that, but grow off site.
And that's where, you know, it's a damn shame, because I think that's where children of the future are going to be missing out. They need to be taught about this medicine, and those ideas need to be changed. And we're heading in that direction, you know, with all the states becoming legal, and now it's but
you got to watch. I don't know how. I know Michigan's a good state to model after on some of the stuff, but states like mine, I got to where I couldn't even go to the meetings anymore. To, like you said, ignorance is bliss, and they don't want to learn anything except what money they can make. And the people that are at those meetings are not there for the right reason. And they're there for the money. And to learn how to make more.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I pushed a while back. They actually did a newspaper article because I pushed for craft grow versus your big time grows. And because I feel like if you put your own reputation on the line, you care more. If a Walmart employee does something to make you not like Walmart, they don't really care. But if a mom and pop store does something, that's business lost.
Right. I've thought of this many times. My wife and I recently had this exact conversation. I said, when you get mad at Walmart, there's not a one person you think of. When you get mad at my construction company, people think of me immediately. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's like it's a big difference. Like when your name is more on the line, right? I agree 100%, man.
Yep,
I read the article he's talking about. It was well written and it was very well done. So congratulations. I know you tried. It's hard. It's hard in your state. Yeah.
But they're so closed minded. I was driving 2 hours and it's hard to get a group of people together to go press for something anymore. To all say, yeah, let's drive 2 hours and go tell these people what we think and how it needs to go. But they pretty well showed where their motivation and their priorities were. They weren't gonna let me be able to open, whether it's a grow or I didn't want to be on the dispensary side. Just I wanted to grow, and the prices for licensing. Aaron from ATG, I was talking to him a while back and about the pricing, and he said I cannot believe they even allow that because it's $10,000 to even file an application.
Wow.
Holy shit.
And if you're granted an application, it's an additional $60,000, and then it's $10,000 every year to renew.
Holy
That's
shit.
just for a cultivation license. So
my goodness. Yeah.
That's how they did it here at Scrubs. When they released medical in Pennsylvania, they had it to where just to be eligible for a license, you had to prove $1 million in $1 million in assets, with half of it being what they considered liquid assets. So pretty much a bank account with $500,000 in it. Then they had like you said, I don't know the exact numbers. I want to say it was like 5 or 15 grand or something, non-refundable. So if they denied you, you're just beat for that cash, man. You know. And I'm thinking, who the hell? They made it to where
that's not including the lawyer costs to even file the application.
Yeah.
You have to pay a lawyer so he understands everything, because you have to draw out your entire business plan, everything. And I was like, you did this for corporate, and they're paying for it now because there was a handful of cases where people like myself, I haven't done it, but these people that are pushing for craft went into the dispensary down in said places. I won't throw people under the bus, but they basically went into a known dispensary, bought product, went down the road to a lab, and it tested for bacteria and some others. Maybe it was something else.
Yeast.
But I mean,
that nasty
might have been
yeast.
and
you
and
can't
some
see
other
it.
bacteria, and they but they're still in business.
It's disgusting, isn't it? Makes you kind of sick to your stomach a little bit, man. It's like it's like a ripoff. Somebody out there just literally ripping people off and saying,
the price of
it. Oh man.
Like I at times I feel like, because I'll buy other people's stuff just to to see what they grow. Like that cherry paloma, I've bought that off that guy a couple times, and I was like, all right, I have to have that to see if I can grow to your potential. One, and two, it's just got to stay in the library.
Yeah.
He but his is, to me, it's decently priced for his efforts, but it's still, you're not going to get near that amount in a dispensary, and you're going to get a shittier product.
Hey, you know the other type of shit they're pulling, man? So say, and I think they might have tried to do this in Ohio. I could be wrong. So say like in Pennsylvania, I think they have 23, 26 dispensary license out there for medical cannabis growers, approved growers. They can't. I try to swoop in and sell them all a bunch of lights and shit, you know. And same way with Ohio, they're about to go legal. And a lot of the places, the government's going to start making them buy their shit off of an approved vendors list. And only the big wigs who are putting money in their pockets are going to get put on that approved vendors list. Instead of the little guy like me, I try to start up a little light business, a wholesale light business and everything, man, and explain to them, you know, some light metrics, different things, and talk to them about projects they could do to help increase their yield, decrease their costs, you know, AC, electricity, the whole thing. And some of them are like, we're not even allowed to buy from someone outside of an approved vendors list. But
it's
a
bullshit
shame.
for real. It's sad.
I see our buddies.
I see the tent going over here.
The vendors.
It is. And how do we break that, man? We need the little guy like us to be able to break that somehow. And I think Spartan's the one that inspired me and those guys. It has to be rallies, man. We need people to come together.
Is just get people to stop spending money at the dispensaries, because I watched a documentary on one in Vegas, and I mean, this thing is huge, and the technology inside this thing, how they cool it and stuff. It's an impressive facility, but the money he made every day and the checks he wrote every week were just like, well, and what gets me is the next state over, there's people getting handcuffed because they've got a dime bag in their pocket. You know,
it's unprecedented, man. And never in history has something happened like this, where something just kind of went legal in this manner, you know. And
that's what I would ask at those meetings. I would always ask, you know, where's the legislation for the people that fought through Prohibition? Because 10 years ago, you all wanted nothing to do with this. When California popped off, nobody wanted anything to do with it. Now, all of a sudden, it's like, hey, yeah. But you all are writing the rule book. And I'm impressed for having, I did get some funny looks because I told them they have what they call the control authority. And I said the control authority needs to possess at least 2, if not 3 members that are active in the cannabis community.
Good point.
I said, because you all clearly have no idea about the plant itself and what it takes to grow it, because you're making this just like, oh, who's that C person?
That is so cool. C person got the sticker. That's awesome.
You're muted, C person.
Oh, I wasn't trying to interrupt. I just remembered that I had that over there.
I looked up. I was like, my camera's not moving.
No, you're right, man. I think a representative from one of us is good. And I think that goes with like, you know, a lot of things like, you know,
get them from this side.
They have a police authority here in Pittsburgh. It's made up of citizens that kind of check the police, you know, and it's really cool that they have shit like that. And I think they need one of us implanted in there, or multiple ones of us, I'll say, implanted in there that understand the plant and how the legislation they're making can negatively affect the availability of the plant, the availability to grow the plant.
For the people that need it for medicine, if you need it for medicine, there is no question you should be allowed to grow this plant.
I think our our freedom should be there. But I agree. I want to give Seed Person enough time to go over his tent. I feel like we don't get to talk to him much, and we don't get to talk to Scrubs either, man. You've been working your ass off, and this is such a treat.
Most of it.
Yeah. You guys are awesome, and it's cool to hang out with you. And I want to let you go ahead, Seed Person. I'm going to mute myself.
Seed Person, one question: how'd the humidity problem go?
Yeah, we could talk about that. So was it Saturday? I lost power, or Sunday I lost power, and then it didn't come back on until like 3 o'clock in the afternoon the next day. So my plants, when I turned on when the power came back on, this tent, the controller started freaking out, and I came down. I heard it beep, and I came down, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And they were like all dewed up, and there was literally like drops of water dripping from the leaves. You can see it's not. I don't think it's PM. I think it's just a watermark, but that was where it was all dewed up and shit. So I sprayed them down. I dried them off really good with a fan, and then the next day I sprayed. Okay, so then the next day I came down and I had a male of the Waichin Valley landrace, and I wanted it to pollinate this one, right? So I had it kind of bent over so that the pollen sacs were like dangling right on top of the plant here, and I had this fan turned off, and when I came down, I opened the tent up and it was just like poof, and I was like, oh fuck. and immediately like took the male out. Well, first I took them out. I was like, oh, we're in it now, and I dusted it all over this one, and then I took it out and I sprayed it with water, and then I came back with some Dr. Zymes like 2 hours later, and I just kind of sprayed everything except for this plant, and I just kind of lightly misted this one, and then left them in the dark for another like 12 hours, and then this is now. So it's been an eventful week, you know.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Gosh, felt really bad for you, man.
It's life, you know. So, but this is the Gold Cash Gold crust to white truffle cheese that Artman sent me, and it's really pretty.
Nice.
It's beautiful.
Oh yeah.
It's in a small.
Excuse me.
And then this is the PPD, the purple penny dropper.
Nice.
And this is the cement shoes. That was like the mutated one. This one grew a third bud.
Yep.
That's wild. I love the colors. Those orangish purple almost at the edge. That's beautiful.
Looks like a fall day.
It reminds me of the beach for some reason.
Yeah, like a sunflower.
Sunset.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the Afghani the landrace, and then hopefully it's pollinated with the Indian landrace, and then that's a female of the Indian landrace that I kept. It's just huge.
I'll be curious to see if any of the white hairs turn brown on that other one in the next couple
This
days.
one, I don't know if it was the Dr. Zyme spray or the pollen, but these ones went from looking more like that to looking like that. But over here we got this is the flapjacks from in-house, and I got two seeds from them. One hermed really bad, the other one turned out awesome, and it smells really good, but it does not smell like syrup or flapjacks or anything like that. What does that say?
That thing's all frosted out.
Yeah, it's beautiful frost.
Yeah. So, and then this is the Gelato 41 from Atlas. I'm excited. It's really dark. It smells really good too.
What's your favorite smelling plant of all of them?
What's up?
What's your favorite smelling plant?
Probably the flapjacks. It's just really cool. It smells like really weedy. Like just straight up weed. You know?
Sweet.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Weed. It smells like myrcene, I guess. These are the 3 that I made of the Goth Girl is the name that I'm calling it, because both the parents were like super dark and purple and red. So I thought they were both really pretty, and I like the imagery of it.
Rocinante says you should check out Black Maple from Bloom
I did.
Seed.
I looked at them, but it's like $200 a pack.
Holy shit.
Holy
Or
mackerel.
more for some of those strains from them. So I was like, I'm all right. Like I can't afford that, but
Hell no.
maybe someday I'll win a pack or something.
Especially when you got a buttload of seeds to work through right now as it is.
I know, I can't take any more.
Yeah, I got you. But that is cool because I know you did say you were looking for like a maple, something maple.
Yeah.
But not at
Yeah.
$200 a pack, though, right?
Unfortunately, no. But these are clones that I took. This is the 9-pound hammer that I actually smoked that after I started talking with y'all, and my headache is pretty much gone. So I don't know if it's worn off or if the medicine is from the plant, but I feel a lot better. After
Nice.
the 9-pound hammer, we're talking about medicinal strains. That is definitely a medicinal strain.
Nice. That's awesome to hear.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, very good for sleep and pain, at least for me. But it's pretty well known for that. So yeah, that's my garden. So it's really good to be here and be able to show you guys what I got going on, because it feels like it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Are you
Nice
digging
to
the
see
new
you.
schedule? Yeah, nice to see you. You digging the new schedule?
Yeah, today's my 3rd day on it. No, my 2nd day on it, because I was off on Monday. So yeah, 2nd day of the new schedule. And I stayed up late last night, and I was like, I don't have to get up in the morning, like early. So
Right.
That's nice.
Sweet.
yeah, but I think I'm gonna hop off here and go have a quick late night snack. But yeah, it's great to see everybody.
It might
Yeah, I'm
be a
gonna have to
minute.
hop out myself and head home.
Well,
It
good
was
to see you
awesome
both.
hanging out
Yeah.
with you.
Come back. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
And Smod, it's good to see you back on Instagram, because that's like my only social media. So I felt like I lost my friend. And I was really happy when he came back.
Yeah, it was nice. They let me back on. They wanted to take the whole thing away. I was glad they didn't. I messaged Brandon Russ. I'm like, how do you get it back? He's like, go on all your devices, log in, do the stuff they say. And that's what I did, and it worked, man.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, I too I miss Smot so much, and I pester him a lot. Sorry about that.
Instagram's fun.
On Instagram too.
That's where we get to keep up with our friends and shit. So I appreciate you guys coming by today. Hopefully we'll see some more of you both as we move forward. The show's not going anywhere. We plan on sticking around for a long time. We love it.
We love you guys. So I'm
You're a
C
big
Person
part.
1 on
Yeah, man.
Instagram, and I'll see y'all later.
See ya.
Later, bud.
Person.
You're up, Scrubs. Oh, you hanging out? I thought he said he was leaving.
Yeah, I'm going
somebody
to.
else.
Oh, I'm gonna roll.
Okay,
this
well you
joint real
gotta
quick.
you gotta get a hold of me sometime. You gotta get a
Yeah,
hold of me sometime.
I gotta take that picture, and I don't want to bring it out.
Oh, you haven't taken it in yet. Okay.
No, it's like
All
I
right.
say, it's been
Hey,
busy.
that's cool. It's all good.
I'm just glad it
You
made
are
it.
very busy. Oh, tell me about it. I was worried.
I told my wife, I said, I know he's worried about it, but it made it.
Yeah,
man,
buddy.
I'm so glad to hear that.
Great picture. Yeah, he said it was like 3 weeks in the mail. I'm like, what? And I'm glad it showed up.
Yeah,
It was
when we moved, we had a big mix up with the mail because
Yep.
I moved into my home place and my dad moved down the road and we both have the same name. So the mail started
that'll do it.
going back, and
You know, as the owner of a drywall, plastering, stucco, and painting business, I got to ask you, who did that work up behind you? Was that you?
No, absolutely not. That gentleman's actually passed away now. He oddly enough,
It's not
he passed
bad.
away. No, it's
I've finished.
Hold on,
it's unfinished. It's more like a
yeah, it just needs finished.
Yep.
Can you see
You got a hole.
the outlet?
Yeah, and there's a hole
Oh
under
yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't very good with the saw.
You know,
Yeah.
it happens, man. I patch a lot of that shit in, depending on who hangs it
Yeah.
for me. You know?
I've got another friend that does drywall. We're actually doing some in my rental house, so
Ah,
it's not.
remember
Yeah, we
thin
had to
coat?
replace 8 foot of a wall that rotted out. Apparently, the gutter had pulled the top down,
Yeah.
and water was running in the wall for a very long time.
Oh man.
It's gross, man. I've seen some nasty
Uh,
shit. And I pulled 2x4s out there
Water
with like
damage.
sponge. Yeah.
it's no fun.
Water damage pays a lot of my bills, unfortunately, man. People get, especially at the end of winter, like I come in the spring and everybody has busted pipes in their rentals that was empty, or, you know, somebody passed away this past year and that house has been sitting. We never thought about it. One of those deals. Now we need it done. So you'd be surprised. It sounds like a lot of people, especially around here, you think they'd be weary of busted pipes, but it happens a lot, man.
My buddy
It's
does a lot
unfortunate.
for It's a company that does like HVAC when they put new
Yeah.
units in and stuff, or they gotta
Oh,
take stuff out and
yeah,
water damage.
we work behind electricians that, like, they'll put in can lights for people that might have an older house that didn't have that, you know. And one thing I always tell them, if you're an electrician out there, save your cutout plugs. You know, when you cut a hole in the ceiling to put a light in, save it, because they can use that to patch in the old hole. It's going to be, you
Yeah.
know, if that's what's going on. A lot of times they throw them away, and it's like, oh, I could have used those. It made my life so easy. You know, they're already circle, same size, flip them upside down and rock and roll. But yeah, I always tell people this too: thin coats, man. It's all, never try to fill nothing in heavy at one shot. You got to have time and patience and go thin coats and spread them out wide. You know, the wider the better.
Yeah, my buddy, he's slick. He's done some mud work that's impressed me, and I can't do it.
My wife
I
always
don't
says
have
that.
the like you said, sometimes
It's a
he'll come
talent.
some and he's like, "All right, we're gonna leave it like that for now," and I'm like, "You can't do." He said, "Nope, we're leaving it." He
Yeah.
said, "Because the more you mess with it, it just keeps." He said, "Once I get to a point where it starts doing this or that, I just leave it alone." And I
Yep.
said, "All right, you know what you're."
Sometimes you're better off leaving some nice big lines in your mud, let it get hard, come back, and you scrape those lines off, and now you're good to go. You can put your next coat on, you know, and it's all about knowing when it's going to get hard and when it's cool to shave it. Yeah, man, I love doing my wife likes watching, like we'll brush a ceiling or something and put a rosette in it above a light or something. She enjoys watching that all go down, and it's kind of a stressful time. You don't want the plaster to set on you, but you also don't want it to be laying there wet for a long time. You want it to get hard as soon as you're done. So it's a lot of mixing and skill there. And she's like, oh, over there pointing at him, like, get out of the way. I don't want to get it in your eye, you know?
Yeah,
Fun.
it is. It's stuff like that it's a craft, man. My buddy does some woodworking that I'm just like, all right,
Yeah.
you know, he.
And I know some crazy dudes that climb up electrical towers and shit, man, for a living. Wackos. I'm telling
Oh
you.
my.
It happens. It
My job's
happens.
easy compared to that, man. I seen these one guys on the TV.
Superhumans.
Yeah.
You're superheroes.
They was in a helicopter, bro, and this guy had a whole metal suit on, and he put this rod out, and it jumped like this big electrical arc. Then he hooked right to the actual thing, and he said he could hear the buzzing. It was in a modern.
Oh yeah, that's why you wear it. The electricity is actually traveling over you.
A Faraday suit or something you call it.
Faraday suit.
Looked like a
Yeah,
shark suit.
It's pretty cool stuff, man. It gets into some pretty. I wouldn't mind. I don't know. I'm not much on flying, but I wouldn't mind do the helicopter stuff one time.
Electricity. You got the ohms, the amps, you got all, you know, resistance and currents and different things. And I never really understood how it could be one flow of electricity could be measured in so many different ways and shit. It just kind of, I've never been good. Electricity and plumbing are two of the things that I won't really take on. I either have to get someone I respect or pay somebody else. Only thing I know about plumbing, water rolls downhill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't bite your fingernails.
Don't bite your fingernails. That's right.
Yeah.
And we were talking about that at work the other day. Some guys, we were laughing. A guy came in that does the porta johns, and you could tell sometimes I wonder, like, man, you don't want anything else for yourself. Like, I know somebody's got to do it, and he answered that question pretty quick because we were like, how much do you make? He's like, $20 an hour. It's like, all right, any benefits? No. He said, but there's no drug test. I was like, well, no.
There you go. Yeah.
You just hit it, didn't you?
Yeah, I was like, well, that pretty well.
It's a shitty job, but somebody's got to do it, right?
Yeah. Somebody got, and I mean, ain't nothing wrong with it. I saw one. I guess it was at ball where the bosses proved that that one guy he owned a shitter pumping business, and every day he runs a truck with his crew. I was like, that's a man to definitely respect.
You mean Undercover Boss? That show, Undercover Boss.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
That's cool.
That's a good show. And it got a little bit weird, but I've seen a couple of them that actually was legit, man. And people were, they were well off to do, like you said, delivering pizzas and shit.
Yeah, that guy, he was very, because you could tell by his outfit of trucks and stuff. He was he'd done very well for himself. And I mean, he ran a truck every day.
That's the way to be, man. Kudos to him. That's finding something you love. He must love driving his truck.
Work harder. It makes your people want to work for you and work a little harder.
Respect.
Yep.
It's also good for morale because y'all know, like if you worked in a job where the morale is down, the production is down. That's just the way it goes. But if you have a man of integrity and you're leading your people and you're right beside them, that says a lot.
They need a sign. It says the beatings will continue until morale improves.
Oh wow! I'm getting that. I'm getting that printed on our work shirts. It's sometimes not easy. I'm not a born leader of men. I can tell you that, man. I sometimes lose my cool at work, and sometimes I get super frustrated about shit I should be able to let go, and very often I fall short as a boss per se, and I don't like that. It's not easy though. This shit doesn't come with a handbook. You think it's going to be easy. You think this is my standards. I'm going to lay them out. This is what I expect or nothing. It just doesn't work like that. You see opportunities to make money. You have to give up on your standards a little bit, and let people be late and let people do this and that because you realize what you're going to get out of your end. And it's not easy, man. And one thing you can't do is put all the weight on the guys that actually do it. That's called they can be a victim of their own success. So if you have a guy that's really good at something, you always just make him do that. You're never demanding more from your other employees. So they have a chance to rise up, and then what happens is the good employee ends up resenting you because they have to do it and they never see pressure being put on them, on the rest of the crew, And so there's always a dynamic that when people make a lot of money in a business, they forget where they come from. It's very easy to do, and then you can forget what it's like to be that dude behind the truck and driving that shitter truck. So kudos to him, man. I see that happen a lot, man. The guy I originally started working for is now a millionaire, and he owns over 100 different rental properties and shit, flies to Florida to play golf every week. He's totally changed, Scrubs. Not the same dude he was 25 years ago when I started working for him. He was just like me. He came out every day with dirty clothes and his tools. And now, not and I hate to see that. That's why I don't work there anymore.
Yeah,
money goes to people's heads, man, and I'm just not built to work for somebody else. I feel like I don't know.
Well, that's where I got because I'm conflicted now with trying to get that my business going versus working. So, yeah. But my insurance, man, I'd give them the money if they just let me keep the insurance.
Yeah. it's probably a lot different in your business too because of the risk, insurance risks and shit.
Oh, it's. I mean, when I called my dad, I was like about this job. I don't know. It's been probably 15 years ago. He said, "Don't do it." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "There's no way that kind of stuff exists." And I was in a pretty bad spot to where you could take the risk, or you knew the boat was going down, and
Yeah.
the risk was worth it. And I mean, it is. When I had kids, I really realized how much that insurance matters.
Yeah. Yeah, when you're young, that shit don't matter. It's like you're it's no big deal. But trying to pay for health insurance and insurance, I think I pay probably more in insurance premiums than I do anything else, to be honest with you.
I guarantee you do. And
I pay more insurance for everything that we have versus anything else. You could probably combine our mortgage and everything together and still wouldn't match insurance premiums, And but I'm blessed, Scrubs. I'm blessed to not have to work for somebody.
Yeah.
I'm blessed to make my own rules, my own ways, take the jobs I want, treat people how we want. And you can pretty much write your own ticket this way, but you do suffer because you suffer worrying about the work coming in. You suffer when it gets slow in winter, you suffer because you get money and then you're afraid to spend it because you don't know when the money is going to come in again and things like that. So, and I'm a very neurotic person. I overanalyze shit too much. So I'm not the best business guy, and also ethics, man. Ethics and business are hard to mend together in a good fashion where everybody comes out happy. Somebody always ends up giving. And so sometimes, that's just how it be sometimes, Pape. That's what the dude said before he shot him, right?
Smart mentioned earlier, how it's not fun to go into a hospital or a doctor's office because everybody's sick. And I was thinking, yeah, it's scary because of the price tag on everything in there. Everything's so expensive.
Yeah, it is, man. Anything you do.
Yep.
But we are blessed. We grow our own cannabis and try to make our own medicine. And I like to get high, but I need that. It keeps me grounded. It keeps me in my soul. It's medicine for my soul. And I feel like, I need that.
Hold on 1 second, guys. I actually have a phone call coming in.
I'm going to have to take this. I'm Crispy Wannabe, and you can find me here on the Smart Poker YouTube channel. And I appreciate every one of you for coming on and grow a love.
Thank you for taking care of that. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to hop out too. I need to get myself moving.
Hey, it was nice bullshitting with you, Scrubs.
Man, it's nice seeing everybody. I don't know who all was in chat.
Yeah, it was nice seeing you.
But yeah, Art, man, I'll get a hold of you as soon as I get that thing taken off.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
In good hands.
Oh yeah.
We'll see you.
It's in a safe spot.
Take care.
Be safe, man.
See you all. See you. Okay.
Case, we haven't heard too much from you tonight, man.
Well, my neighbor was out there cutting the grass. I had to turn my volume off for the longest time. It was like right outside my office here.
Oftentimes I think, oh, that came through. Someone will come by, like I'll have my window cracked. Someone comes by on a chopper just ripping, I'm thinking that definitely come through. But it doesn't, man. I'm amazed at how much it chops out. But I appreciate you being conscientious of that. I wanted to ask, I kind of feel like I got cut off a little bit on your grow earlier. I was going to ask, what EC you're feeding at now? I shouldn't say feeding. I should say fertigating. I apologize.
Yeah, so I'm at 1250 right now.
All right, that seems perfect, man. And they seem to have no burnt tips really to speak of. And how many times a day do you fert?
So I still got it set for 3 times a day right now, and I'm doing about 40 seconds, and that gives me pretty good runoff. It's kind of hard to dial this in perfectly, but I mean that gives me adequate runoff without me considering it being wasteful. If you know what I mean?
Yeah. there's two ways to look at this, man. I know exactly what you mean. Not all your plants are going to run off at the same time. So you almost have to go with the one that runs off. The plant that's going to take the most has to set the precedence for all the other ones. And sometimes that can mean a couple of the other ones are getting more than 10%, 15% runoff, right? But you can look at it the other way. If you was to say, well, hand watering is better because I waste less, the only way hand watering is better because you waste less is if you're willing to sit there for a long period of time and measure out like 8 ounces poured on each one, wait a little bit, pour another 8 ounces, wait, and do that until you see each one dripping. Then you have to mark down each one individual, and you can't do that with a dialed in system like with the auto fert like yours. But also, it's not that's not something that anybody can be expected to do either. So normally when people are hand watering, they end up wasting a lot more, believe it or not, because they don't sit there and wait slowly for the drips to come. Usually by the time it starts dripping, it starts pouring out the bottom, and I'm guilty of that. I'm definitely guilty of that. So somebody might have heard what you were saying and thinking that sounds wasteful, but it's actually not. When the way they hear drain to waste, they think a lot, but most of the fertigation solution we mix actually gets processed through the plant.
Yeah, it's hard to fine tune this watering system because you're adjusting it by the ball valve and it's pretty sensitive. So you get them as close as you can to each other and just kind of accept it, at that point.
Yeah.
I wondered how that would work out. It's always hard. I've always heard that.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. I'm not complaining about it for sure, but it's definitely, it takes some practice. You got to definitely adjust it because you might open a valve up more for one, but that affects the pressure on all the other ones too. So
as they grow, you have to change it, and then sometimes one will hit a growth spurt. And so it's now drying up a lot faster than it was just say maybe a week or two ago, especially when you get into the bolt phase. They're putting on vegetation like snow's business, man, stacking 1 inch, 2, 3 inches a day, and they're just taking off. So at that point, you're in there adjusting a lot, and as they process more water, they dry out quicker, which rises your EC. So now you almost need more fertigation to keep that down. So it's always a delicate balancing act of trying to keep that salinity and the osmotic stress at a minimum. And sometimes to do so, it can seem a little wasteful. But
it's definitely been worth it so far. As far as having to adjust the system, it hasn't been too bad. I haven't done it in a long time, but I mean, it saves me a good amount of time from having to come here, and I couldn't hand water 3 times a day because I work. So right. It's pushing it to water twice a day for me, but. I mean, it definitely saves a lot of time. Like I just mixed up 20 gallons of newts on Monday, and that'll probably last me, probably till Friday.
Right on. Yeah, no, that's good, man. And exactly. One thing I've noticed is about a gallon per plant per day at max flowering when it's really busting, man. It's never been more than like maybe 1.25 gallons for me per day per plant at max volume. So you can actually go through 20 gallons fairly quickly later on, but it's nice when it lasts a lot longer. And 20 gallons is a good number. It's easy. You get bigger than that, it can sometimes get harder and harder to keep fresh. I don't know. I think any more than like a 30-gallon tote is really hard.
Larger res is more stable, though.
Yeah, that's true. For longer, yeah.
Yeah, I just add some hydrogen peroxide every couple of days to it. But I've been going about a month on this system, and it's about time to clean it out. They don't last forever.
No. Beneficial bacteria probably actually be a better route to go, but it just also seems to be more cost. It costs more, cost prohibitive.
Something else you got to buy.
If I knew what was in them, man, you know what I mean, Jace? If we knew what was in like HydroGuard and certain things, like the exact strains, and we could order them cheaper, I think that'd be a great option. And I've thought about that in the past, but I've never come across anybody that really knows, like, hey, you can order it right here at this spot, blah, blah, blah. You know, maybe I'm not, I should be better at doing searches for myself, but I often thought, like, what's in HydroGuard that they sell, because it works great, but it's expensive and you got to buy it often.
Yeah, it's like that Rapid Start. I was using that Rapid Start from General Hydroponics, and that stuff's expensive. I bought the smallest bottle they had, and I'm almost out, so I'm tempted to stop using it when I run out.
I quit using it a long time ago, man. I used to use it. One thing is the bottle that it comes in really sucks, man. It'll leak on you bad if you don't keep the cap inside and shit. We always bought, and it also goes bad, man. It'll get like rancid. If you don't use it fast enough, you try to buy it in bulk or whatever, it seemed to go rancid, keeping it in the same environment with the rest of my newts. And then it started affecting my pH drastically, more than it should have. Another thing that always confounded me was they don't recommend that you use Rapid Start, which is, by the way, for those who don't know, is a growth promoter. They don't recommend you use it the first week. And I felt like that would be one of the most important weeks to use a root growth promoter, you know. And yeah, the root growth promoter thing is expensive too. I got a list of the ingredients. Some of it was tea bark tree, willow tree stuff. They have some other stuff in there, but nothing really. I couldn't find a reason for me to continue to buy it. After I stopped using it, I seen my plants seem to do just as well, you know. We even had some plants where Jace, that we were doing with and without it, and I didn't see any difference, man. What, you know?
Yeah, I believe you. I'll probably stop using it, like I said, when I run out of that bottle. But one thing that you definitely need, or almost have to have, I think, in my opinion, is a good silica.
Yeah, I agree.
I had to buy Botanicare silica today. I ran out. I had to go to the grocery store. I've never used it before. I'm hoping it works out. I got some Armor Sci through the mail coming though.
What's the nitrogen on the Botanicare? Is it a 200?
Oh shit! Hang on a second. It's right here.
I know
it is.
Oh damn!
Mega Blast says 0.5.
Okay.
Oh, it's backwards, ain't it? No, it ain't.
Okay, you're good. No nitrogen. See, that's a lot of the silicas have what is that? Potassium silicate.
Yeah.
It should have a percentage on there.
Yep, it says it right here. It says 2% silicon from sodium silicate and potassium silicate.
All right.
And it says derived from potassium silicate. Is that the right one?
Yeah, that's it. Only
Okay,
thing that's
cool. Excellent.
like people use Power Sci. That it's a choline.
Ooh, that's
stable.
expensive.
Yeah,
God,
that's why.
it's expensive. I looked at that and it was like $75 for a little bottle, about maybe less than maybe 8 ounces. It was crazy.
They have to make that. It's weird how they make it. They have to make it in a cryogenic state and everything else. It's very expensive to make it, and what it does is it makes it very stable for a long time. You can put it in a reservoir in like a large. I think it's best for like maybe a commercial grow that's for profit. You can put it in your reservoir and it's good for a week. The stuff that you have and the stuff that we use and the stuff that's coming in the mail is usually only good for about 3 or 4 days in my mind. And then you'll start to see it polymerize and it'll get to the bottom of the tank. You'll see little white flakes. And then your continual use of that res, when your res is empty and you let it dry up and you glance, the light just hits the sides of the walls just right, you'll see a white fuzz down there. And that's all polymerization. And it's because it's not a choline stable form of potassium silicate. And that's what Power Sci does. They take it through a process that makes it. And yeah, I learned all that through a guy whose name is Dr. Daniel Hernandez. And he has a science and hydroponics show on YouTube. I recommend you check it out. But I rambled all the way to the last minute. I'm going to shut my pie hole up.
Hey, that was important.
Yeah. It's good stuff, man. I love talking about growing, man, and the things that I've learned and that I've seen happen in my tent mean a lot to me, and I like to impart that on other people. And I appreciate when people do that to me. So, for sure. Cheers to the chat. Always wonderful. And we love you guys. Wouldn't be the show without you. Same with our guests that come on, make things interesting. I don't want to miss anybody. So thanks everyone who came on. Got to see some old friends and new friends and everything else tonight. So, and I want to say thanks to you two guys, the Last Soul Survivors. I will let you go first, Jace.
Okay, Jace20 at Instagram. Thanks again to the hosts, Mott, Crispy, Art. Always good seeing you. And thanks again to the chat. We'll see you guys next time. Grower love.
Artman's up next.
Artman 2Ns 420 _ at Instagram. You can see me over there. And thanks for having me, guys. Always a pleasure.
Thanks for coming, Art. I want to say apologies to my guests and maybe to the chat. Sometimes I get excited and I feel like I may talk over someone, or some people may feel like it's not their turn and they hesitate for a while and shit. And my wife's not, sometimes she should smack me a little more and say, shut the hell up. So make sure you guys cut me off. And so you get in. Sometimes I get overexcited, but I love you guys, and we'll see you on the next show. Grower love.
Peace. By the way,